breaking the fourth wall.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio NXT Battleground post-show rewind. It is June the 9th, 2024, and I am Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster. Gentlemen, who is with me here tonight? Caesar, you weren't here a second ago.
I know, that was the point. That was the point. You heard that I was busy, but then some stuff happened, and officially I've arrived.
Surprise, surprise.
You guys, this is not Monday night. This is not me and Tyler. This is NXT Battleground review show. That was an awesome show, guys. Holy crap.
I do want to say hello to all of the new viewers that we have. We are on a brand new platform. We're on Dirt Sheet Radio platforms, as always, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. But you will now find us on Nico Extras, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook platforms, as well as posting news stories on Nico Extras Instagram. So, hello, everyone. I am John Escudero. That is Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster, and that's Caesar. And we are members of the team called Dirt Sheet Radio.
Let's go.
It's a wonderful place where pro wrestling fans can enjoy the world of pop culture, but more importantly, live after every single wrestling show, Monday through Friday, you will find post-show rewinds from members of the team. Monday nights after Raw, Tuesday nights after NXT, Wednesday nights after AEW Dynamite, Thursday nights after Impact, Friday nights after SmackDown, and on nights like tonight, pay-per-view post-show rewinds from AEW, TNA, and WWE. All that stuff covered right here on Nico Extras platforms, as well as Dirt Sheet Radio. And I'll hand the host back over to Tyler.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop for us. Now, before we hop into tonight's main event, of course, I want to give the ever eternal shout out to our partner on the web, comicbookclick.com. Head on over to comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio for all of your comic book, pop culture, pro wrestling needs, live updates, lots of articles, lots of fun. Make it your homepage. Check it out multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we're legally obligated to do so, but because we love it. Gentlemen, let's talk about tonight's main event for the NXT Championship. We had his NXT in-ring debut, All Ego Ethan Page, taking on Trick Williams.
Woo.
Gentlemen, what did you think of tonight's main event? Trick Williams takes the win here in just about 12 minutes and 11 seconds. Gentlemen, what do you think?
You want to go first, John?
I enjoyed the match. One thing about Ethan Page is that he is, I feel like, sometimes underrated in what he can do in the ring. And tonight he went out there and he understood that this was his opportunity in front of WWE fans for the very first time. And he showed out. Him and Trick Williams went out there and they had as great of a match as they could in the time limit that they had. How long did you have a time for this match, Tyler? I felt like it went really fast.
12 minutes and 11 seconds. I expected it to have more about, 15 to 17 is what I was expecting going into it.
It was like a great TV match, great TV size, NXT main event. Like if this was a main event on NXT TV, we would have been like blown away. Like, oh my God, they did that. I can't wait to see what they can do on pay-per-view is the feeling that match would have left me with. Tyler, I'll hand it over to you, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm with you. It was a solid match for, what it was. The finish makes sense. It protects Ethan Page a little bit here. He did end up getting in a bit of a quarrel with the official and took a real quick trick shot for the 3 count. I was actually, again, surprised that the match ended so abruptly, which I can get behind. That is, a little more of a real fight feel to that. But it was a very, very abrupt ending. Caesar, man, what'd you think?
So far, I kind of agree with John on this one. When it came to the Ethan Page's talent in the ring, people think, he's just that guy who does a couple things, gets sent off TV, smiles. Tonight, he actually delivered and held his half of the match, did his half of the dance. His theme, though, what in the world was that?
Oh, no, hold on now. I even said this. As far as Death Rebel music goes, the Ethan Page one wasn't that bad. There are far worse themes. That's really being like, this diaper doesn't smell as bad as that one. But still, it's even the smallest level of improvement is improvement.
It definitely had that all ego like just in case you don't recognize his music, because everything is. That's what I will say. As much as it wasn't as bad as other teams have been, it was still as generic as the rest of them. That's kind of my issue with the Def Rebel themes. Not as much as like some of them don't even suck. They're just like very, very generic. Like my wife can make much better music on her iPad.
He's not wrong, actually. I know
she's very good at it though, so maybe that's not fair.
Produces the next giant Michael Jackson song.
Rebel be good at it though? You know what I mean? Like,
no, he should be great at it, especially if they're getting paid by such a conglomerate.
Like, I understand not everybody can be Jim Johnston or or
CFOs,
Jimmy Hart or CFO Jimmy Hart.
Crazy. You know what's crazy?
Jimmy Hart wrote Sexy Boy, damn it.
CFO used to suck. Like, we looked at CFO and we were like, these guys fucking suck. And then we got Def Rebel, and everyone's like, you know what? CFO was not that bad.
Actually pretty good. The Shinsuke Nakamura theme, that was awesome.
If you're mad that we're talking about something other than the match, it's because the match was so damn short. There wasn't much substance to it.
Show it'll do a longer match.
I will say, I always like to give a little shout out to Vic Joseph when he says stuff that makes me smile. At one point, he shouted, "Uranagi, rock bottom, bookend, whatever the hell."
Yeah, I remember that.
He is great. At that point, it was at that moment that I said, Vic Joseph is great. What are we doing with him right now? Like, he's down here. It's not just the stuff like that, although it looks like he's been given the freedom to kind of not straight up say things, but like he did when Ethan Page came. Oh, wasn't he just an AE? Or he did it now with Ash by Elegant.
Yeah,
he's like, isn't that Dana? I mean, great stuff. I agree.
He's good at getting right up to that line and then almost like self-censoring it. He's also very good at almost saying holy shit, but not actually saying holy shit.
I hope they're okay with that. I hope that he's not going to get in trouble.
Well, it's like, hey, y'all understand that like NXT isn't going to Netflix. Y'all are going to CW. So like
it's arguably even more censored than they are on WB. Like, I don't think you'd be able to do Sexyy Red things on the CW network.
Probably not, no.
Exclusively on Level Up.
God.
John's favorite new show.
Which we will be covering soon here. CJ and I will be covering Level Up.
With John now.
Sexyy Red's on there on a week-to-week basis. But gentlemen, anything else on tonight's main event? Or shall we hop around to the front of the show?
I think we can all agree that match could have went a little bit longer, even another 5 minutes or something. Nothing too crazy, but good ending.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, if anything, I'm wondering if this is the beginning of a longer feud.
Could be
between Trick and Ethan Page, because Ethan Page just got here 2 weeks ago. This feud just started. So if the idea is that this is just the first chapter of something darker or deeper, like Heatwave is gonna have like some stipulation, hell in a cage, dog poop outside the ring match.
Hell in a cage.
The kennel in a cell.
On a pole.
Kennel of hell.
On a pole.
Such good shit.
Pal.
I mean,
do it live, brother.
Yeah. I don't know. But nothing to say.
I mean, also too, like if I don't know what their plans for Ethan Page are long term. How long he's going to spend in NXT. If this is the start of a feud, but if nothing else, they got a main event out of him for a PLE before he's defined down into anything else.
If this was the old era, he would have been gone in like 2 weeks.
Ethan Page released. One of those guys that, like John was saying, he's incredibly underrated, and I'm a little biased in that because when I was going to Ring of Honor shows like monthly there for a while, I watched him go from ring crew to dark match to opening match on TV. Like, so I've liked the guy for a real long time. The man handed me my streamers back a couple of times. Like, that's a bond. That's a bond.
Great guy.
Yeah. All ego. Nice guy.
No ego at all, actually.
No ego.
Very sweet man, actually, as it turns out. But so tonight's PLE came to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, at the UFC Apex. Before we hop in tonight, I want to get everyone's opinion on the venue itself, how it looked on TV.
The hard count side was empty.
I
had to say that.
I liked the shape of the venue.
Different.
Like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, it didn't look as filled in as you would think it would have, and they had more seats in there than they normally have, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it felt. I almost kind of rather they would have just done this at the Performance Center if they were going to do it in a venue this small.
They the way the venue is set up, obviously to fit an octagon, right? But it also has weird gaps in the corners, like it's not meant to have seat there. So and they were shooting it funny, so like not to show that. It was a little weird. Like I actually thought, my whole thing was like, this was not worth the trouble. Like coming here, I understand the novelty of being a UFC building and like we're connected now. Yeah, it's different. And I was like, you could have kept it in the PC, and we would have had a much better crowd with like 400 less, people, because they had they had 700 people in this building.
Really?
Yes, 700. 702. No. Well, I should say hold 702, and they had like 648 or something like that. And I can't fill up a 700 building. No, but if you would have kept it in the PC, those 300 wrestlers, those 300 fans, they're fucking rabid. They're loud. They love wrestling. I'm sure these people love wrestling too, but I don't know if it was the acoustics or. I'm not sure I liked this building, Tyler.
Yeah, they didn't. I was wondering if it was the acoustics, because you can even tell like the walls of the venue itself. You can kind of have some like slight baffling to them.
Yeah.
Which for my theater nerds out there, that absorbs sound. I guess for my non-theater nerds out there, that absorbs sound and kind of makes the acoustics better. So like that's going to detract from the noise coming from the audience. So I don't know. I like what John, you were saying, man. I think it would have been a much more rambunctious audience, being 400 people less in the PC. Or again, they could have sold out, a moderately sized venue for this if they had done that route as well. But I understand why they did it. It's the TKO partnership. You're all one big happy family now. There were a ton, or I'm not gonna say a ton, but several UFC fighters in the audience tonight. Forrest Griffin being one of them. And as a big Forrest Griffin fan back in the day, I gotta say he's looking like old Sheldon at this point.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to tell him that. Like, a man won a fight in Pride with a broken fucking arm, knocked the dude out like he's a badass. But like I'm feeling old because he's looking older. But
that was my era of MMA as well. I barely watch anymore. I don't know any of the new people. But I did wonder. Thank you. I did wonder if they were like, because MMA guys, some of them like wrestling, right? But other ones do not. And very clearly, plainly do not. So I was kind of like, feel like I'm standing in my underwear in front of the audience, like, oh, we can't show them this stuff. They don't like it.
Oh man.
But yeah, we'll talk about it, Tyler.
But yeah, but the show in the venue opened up with Sexyy Red in the ring, welcoming everyone to the show, and then she twerked quite aggressively as the show opened. And by the way, if you're a fan of Sexyy Red twerking, you were in luck tonight, brother, because there was a lot of it, start to finish. But tonight's pay-per-view, PLE, opened with, I don't want to piss off Bubba Ray Dudley by mixing the two things up. So sorry. But we opened with the ladder match to crown the inaugural NXT North American Women's Champion, Kalani Jordynne versus Sol Ruka versus Meacham versus Lash Legend versus Jada Parker versus Fallon Henley. And the winner tonight, standing tall, Kalani Jordynne, becoming the first ever women's North American champion in 12 minutes and 19 seconds. Great match. A lot of really fun spots. All the women teamed up to attempt to murder Lash Legend tonight.
They did.
Yeah,
Pretty
she
sure it was her.
back up after that. Her out with that one.
That was rough.
Yeah,
Bro, that was
dude.
rough.
Like-
Honestly, I will. Of all the things that happened in the ladder match, I will give the most props to Lash Legend because that was the bump. That was like the biggest bump. Like, did they draw straws? Like, did she get the bad straw? Like,
Probably.
you're taking the big girl bump. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
But
Ash.
I felt like that was as good of a ladder match as you're gonna get from 6 brand new wrestlers, or 5 brand new wrestlers and Mia
And
Yim.
me chin, yeah.
And me Chim, excuse me. I know the name's got like a meaning, but it's
I
No,
hate
dude,
her
I'm right there.
so much.
I call her Mia Yin at the time too. I
Yeah.
Ring of Honor is the first place I saw her. You know, like
yeah.
embassy.
So she's got the most props for me, hands down. Even though I know Soroka got the big she got the big showcase towards the end of the match too, getting to hit her finisher all over the place.
That was insane.
That was very cool. David Mann
Yeah,
says, I'll be a fan of when they're done doing business with Sexyy Red. I'd rather than bring back Ollie J. I enjoyed Sexyy Red, and not just because people accuse me of being a pervert. I just thought that she brings a different kind of spotlight onto WWE. You know, WWE is always going to get, you know, the TMZ, the ESPN, and sometimes even Wall Street Journal when they're not looking for that. But they're never going to get the Shade Room. They're never going to get World Star. They're never going to get Hollywood Unlocked unless they do things like with Sexyy Red. So I want all companies to do more things with people that are going to get them more urban attention, because that's where I am. That's where I'm from. That's my heart. I'm from the Bronx. I want to see my people love wrestling again, you know? So that's why I'm down with Sexyy Red. That's my explanation.
And she is absolutely bringing eyes to the product, and she was all over the show tonight. Like, I think 5 segments. I think she was in.
She's like the Judgment Day.
Just like the Judgment Day. You're right.
Judgment Red. Sexy Day.
She was the host. So we give her that. They used her as the host. I thought it was fun. I thought she seemed like she wanted to be there. That's what I always like when a celebrity.
That's good.
Right? That's a great thing. Well, at least for me, because I grew up during the goddamned GM celebrity era, and they used to have to pull from the bottom of the bucket people who didn't want to be there just to promote a movie. It was fucking rough.
Okay, hold on.
Snooki liked wrestling.
I'm not gonna let you say bad shit about Snooki in front of me, dude. She pulled it out at WrestleMania. I was at one of the appearances they did in Columbus. Like, no, she killed it at WrestleMania, shockingly to everyone. That meatball can fucking flip, all right? So we're not gonna
that meatball? Wow.
She calls herself that. She calls herself
I like
that.
meat. I like spaghetti and meatballs. What the hell?
Yeah, no. But again,
that host era was kind of rough though.
Fun time.
Pee Wee Herman was great.
He was. Rest in peace.
But yeah, R.I.P. Paul Rubens. But the ladder match. But back to the ladder match itself, though. It was good. It was good. I was not expecting Kalani Jordynne to get the win
at all.
Nope. He was, you know, here's the thing. I would have had her above Michin, but that's just because I have a preference for them putting titles on NXT talent, not main roster talent. But honestly, she was not, of the 6 women, she was not in my top 4. I will say that.
There is one name that I'm not surprised didn't win, and that's Jada Parker, only because of the ladder superstition where you walk under a ladder, you get bad luck. She did that, and I was just I was just like, she's not winning. That's
she did. You're right.
She lost.
That's great. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Nobody else did, right? It was just her that went under the ladder?
Yeah, nobody else. Everyone got put through.
She screwed herself.
Smashed with, climbed up, and then she's like, I hate all you bitches. And just climbed under.
Great stuff.
But good match, good opener. You know, get the crowd all hyped up. Like I said, crowd didn't seem that hype, but it could have been the venue. Not really sure. If
still,
you know,
a match.
Yeah, it'll be. I'd like to hear some perspective from folks that were in the venue tonight to see how it sounded there. But
I think one of our friends was in the building, but I don't know if
saw a message in the group about that.
Yeah, pretty sure John. John, who's NXT regular.
He kept flexing that the whole time. He's like, I can see myself on TV.
That's right. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's great. That's actually great.
But hopping forward from the ladder match, our next match on the card was the NXT Tag Team Championships. Axiom and Nathan Fraser defending their championships against the OC, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Axiom and Fraser pick up the win here and retain their belts in 11 minutes and 36 seconds. I thought this was a damn good tag title match. The OC did not get much of a reaction from that crowd, but they haven't really gotten a whole big pop since they've been down at NXT. But it was a great match. I thought, gentlemen, what'd you think of this bout this evening?
Truthfully, I forgot about the OC. I'm being brutally honest because I haven't seen them in forever, so it was good to see them. I do agree with you, though. It was a hell of a match. A lot of flips and crazy spots that the tag champs pulled off. And it is cool because the last time I did see Nathan Fraser, or Fraser, however you want to call it, on the NXT product, it was like when he was first just getting featured on the show. So now to see him in a high-paced tag team doing crazy like bumps and flips and stuff is really cool. So props to those two for being tag champs and having a hell of a match.
Props to Everything Pro Wrestling for showing us some love.
Woo!
Thank you. But I agree with you, Caesar. I thought the Good Brothers had their working boots on. They were wrestling tonight, and I'm generally, I'm only bored with them because I know their attitude based on how they present. Anyway, I'm not saying I know them as people. I'm saying Carl Anderson is like really happy to say like, I'm happy to fucking take a check and do nothing, you know, like so. So like that's kind of what I think of when I see the Good Brothers. So I'm kind of worried.
Do nothing.
I get kind of worried that I'm not going to get my money's worth for the performance. But I thought tonight that, you know what it is, they're out there with the kids compared to them, right? And in their eyes, I think they realize like they're not going to fuck these kids, you know, like they're going to go out there and they're going to give the kids the best they can give them so that they learn something at least. And I appreciate that because that's what it felt like here tonight. And yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, while I certainly feel like there's an element of them phoning it in on the week-to-week television for NXT, they didn't do that tonight. They were themselves. They put on a good show. This we talked about the main event could have went a little bit longer. This went about the amount of time it should have went. I feel that 11 and a half to 12 minute time frame pretty good for this. But yeah, Fraser and Axiom looked great, fast-paced, hard-hitting. They didn't, slip on a banana peel to get the win or anything, which was good. They looked strong. So.
Did Nathan Fraser's ending moves seem like he kind of missed to you guys?
Yeah, he actually, if I had to say something, it's that Nathan Fraser was moving so fast-paced that there were actually a couple of moves that he didn't hit very clean, he like a cat with zoomies. Exactly.
Is that bad that I thought of that right now? Like,
no, that's great because that's what it was. That's almost what it felt like. He did miss
all of that one,
and then they showed it again from the same angle to make it worse. Like we want to double check. Yeah, he did.
You did also see Carl Anderson actually adjusting.
George Serrano asked a good question, and I wanted to know your guys' opinion. Do you prefer Axiom to A-Kid?
I actually do.
Yeah, I can give you that one.
I will also Tuesday. I'll try to remember to ask CJ that as well. But like I like the character of Axiom more. I enjoy the look a lot more.
It's a better name.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a part in the actual match. I don't know if you guys caught it. It was like an audible, but it was basically Axiom screaming.
First of all, George is horrible for saying that.
No, why would you put that in the universe?
That's like a punishment in the workplace.
That's horrible.
You get to have this belt and never show it to anybody.
We'll see if Andrade gets to show it off.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
It's a secret. That's great.
We didn't mention it on this show. No,
but no, it was I again thought it was a great match. I don't know if the OC are going to spend any more time down in NXT. But hey, if they were down there to serve this purpose, to put over the tag champ strong, They did a good job at that. So flowers to the OC tonight.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. But after that match, we had a hype video for Josh Briggs. It was the same one they showed a couple weeks ago on NXT television, where he looks like he's auditioning to host a revival of Beyond.
That's actually the plan.
We had like 63 hype videos in a row.
Yep, we did. There were a ton. We had that one. We had the video for Carly Bright. We had the hype video for the feud between Dante Chen and Lexis King.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they showed the "Hey Minneapolis, we're very sorry that we lied to you about giving you WrestleMania, but here's SummerSlam."
Yo,
video.
Speaking of Minneapolis, they were supposed to get this pay-per-view too. They were supposed to get NXT. They were supposed to get NXT Battleground before it got moved. Because I think Raw is running NXT. I think Raw is running like the Target Center on Monday. I want to say I'm doing all this without Googling, and I should be Googling, but I'm pretty sure Raw is running the Target Center on Monday. And this show today was going to be like you can only get it if you buy combo tickets. And so sorry.
This bothers me more now because I would have rather this show been in front of like a normal wrestling audience, honestly, like in a regular. God damn it!
Right?
Why are they doing this to the great city of Minneapolis?
Is that the Twin Cities? Is
yes,
right? Yes, the Twin Cities. Why? Yeah. Damn it!
You know, first
Toledo. It may be whatever this fucking town is.
They hate the Bellas so much that they're going to do this to all twin related things now. Like it's like
let me look this shit up. I'm gonna double check.
Uh-oh.
You guys go ahead. I'm pretty sure, or maybe the entire event got moved. Maybe they didn't even get the Raw. That's fucked up.
Give him the shit end of the stick.
But that while John looks into that to see where Raw is tomorrow, they also showed a kind of earlier this evening video of Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace arriving at the facility separately. Of course, to be honest, they arrived together.
Hey,
that actually would be great.
Right, killing the business. Screw kayfabe. But our next
it was Savannah, Georgia. I was wrong. It was Savannah, Georgia.
Imagine being wrong.
I know, right? What the fuck? I'm actually gonna go commit seppuku.
Oh God, no!
That's code for it.
No. But
put a towel down.
Damn, still that sucks though that it got moved like to a smaller venue just because it's like we like Vegas because the WrestleMania like launch party went so well.
George actually has another good point here. This is a world where you can only have so many characters. My main issue with NXT is that they have to create a baker's dozen worth of gimmicks every few months, and they all feel undercooked. I guess that's the general nature of, a developmental show. Like, as much as Triple H wants to sell it to us as a third brand, it's the third brand.
It's good shit.
It's a developmental show, and that's kind of why I give them leeway on so many things. Like, the ladder match earlier tonight, like that's as good as it's gonna get for 6 babies, like they're babies. I'm not gonna judge them like if it's it's this 5-year vets, like if the girls on Raw who've been up there for years go out there and have that match, then I'd be like, oh no, like that's rough. But if they had that match, that's fine. That's great. Actually, it was great for them, and it changes the way you enjoy the show too. I think if you keep that in mind while you're watching, like, oh, they're the babies. Like, if you watch it to see what they are improving on rather than like to be entertained straight up, like maybe it sometimes entertains me to watch them learn.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anyway. I mean, there's a few dozen reasons why NXT is usually my favorite portion of what I watch in wrestling every week, and that is certainly one of the aspects to it. The getting to see that growth and the experience and all, it's great. You love to see it, and yeah, there are absolutely some undercooked gimmicks for sure, and there are certainly gimmicks that they do down there that don't translate to the main roster and have no chance of honestly translating to the main roster. But it's developmental, and that's you're gonna take tries. You're gonna try different things down there. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like with Roxy's heel turn, and we'll talk about that a little bit later tonight with her match. But like, it was rough going at first, but she's really getting her footing now with this heel character, and that's awesome and wonderful to see as she grows and becomes more versatile as a wrestler and performer. Not gross, grows.
Grows. I was laughing at that. Was she gonna go like half an inch?
But she's short, all right. Like we're not going to degrade short women on the show either, Caesar.
NXT Underground, let's go.
That's right. So short.
Respect our short queens. God damn it.
My wife is 5 foot even, guys. I'm just putting that out there. But anyway, our next match on the card: NXT Underground. Lola Vice taking on Shayna Baszler. That's why there were so many video packages, y'all, because they had to break down parts of the ring
ropes out.
But Lola Vice, the right person, wins the match in 10 minutes and 18 seconds. Great. I absolutely love this from start to finish. It's a little dark. Literally dark.
Yeah, I hated that part.
I wanted to turn my brightness up. Felt like I was playing
art
Oblivion
right there,
back on the free. That picture was, it was
cuddling.
Great.
What do you interpret? This is like a Rorschach test. Like, what do you see, cuddling or fighting?
I'm colorblind. This isn't fair for me.
No, but yeah. What were you saying, Tyler? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I thought the match was great. I thought a lot of the spots came across as very realistic. It didn't feel as much like a wrestling match, even as much as some of the other NXT Underground matches have, or some of the Raw Underground matches have. This felt a little more real fight to me, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with the backgrounds of both Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler. But the finish of the match saw Shayna taking a header into the ring steps, knocking her out, and then getting tossed in the ring just with a flurry of blows, and then, of course, referee stoppage. I didn't really have an issue with it. It was a little banana peely for a finish, but it didn't really make Lola look that weak as a finish. But I dug it. But I'll quit blathering on here, gentlemen. What did you think of this match tonight? The fourth NXT Underground match.
I will say two things in my own situation here. One, that's my first actual NXT Underground match, so that's pretty sweet. Secondly, I learned a lot about Lola Vice besides what we already knew about her. So that was pretty sweet. But the match itself, holy crap, that was something.
Agreed. I gotta agree with you. I said that this was probably the NXT Underground match with the most accurate simulated MMA spots and striking and stuff like that. So if it depends on, like, if you're an MMA fan and you're watching this, you might not like you might have fucking hated this, and you're like, how can you guys say this was good? Like, this is fucking dumb. And it's like, no, but your eyes are trained differently. Like, you're looking for impact, and you're like, it's gonna be weird when she puts on a choke that doesn't that's not all the way in, but if you kind of look at it for the performance that it was, like, this is part of it. This is partly why I was like a little bit like standing in my underwear in front of the audience about it. Like, oh no, the MMA guys are in the audience. The UFC guys are watching this. But I think they also realized that too. And there were a couple times where they were popping each other a little bit, and you can kind of see Lola like covering up, like, oh fuck, like she's actually dropping hammers on me a little bit. Well, not much of that though. Not like, this wasn't like 90s Vader or whatever. But,
right.
Ultimately, I liked some people had an issue with the finish itself because they were like, she wasn't knocked out, so how could that have been a finish? That took the MMA realism out. But actually, no. It was absolutely an MMA finish. She was covering herself up and not defending herself. That's when the ref is supposed to step in.
Yeah.
And the moment where she gets up and tries to grapple the ref because she doesn't realize where she is, that's so fucking great.
Thank you, Shayna.
Because you've seen that happen in so many instances in legitimate MMA fights. You have seen that happen. Someone gets their bell rung, they get knocked out. It's so quick they don't realize it. That the ref doesn't take their damn life. But they didn't even realize that they were out for that second and lost the fight, and they're confused why the fight's over. I thought that was a great touch to the finish, and I don't know if that was something that a producer came up with or if that was the idea of Baszler herself. But great touch, absolutely great touch.
Agreed. Right finish too. Lola Vice going over Shayna Baszler. I know. I also saw some people being like, "Oh no, like this is a far cry from the Shayna Baszler who won the NXT Championship." And I'm like, we're so there. Like we've been there for so long that I'm just happy to get a good performance. Like that was great. I enjoyed myself. She got 10 minutes. It's more than the 5 she gets on Raw. So like, I'm fine. I'm fine with this. I enjoyed this a lot.
Now there was some discussion that they had kicked around. The idea of doing this in an octagon. Do you think it would have been better in an octagon, or was it the right call to not do it in a actual UFC octagon?
I almost am okay that they didn't do it in the octagon just because it doesn't have to deal with the scrutiny, the extra scrutiny from people.
Which it would have gotten, yeah.
And I joked that I wanted it in the octagon, but really that's what would happen. And they did such a good performance here that I'm fine with the way they did it. It was kind of funny when Shayna just randomly starts fucking beating on the security guards. But
what was up with that?
I was like, why is she doing this? And there was another moment where she got knocked out. And like she got knocked out. She got like knocked out. She fell out the ring onto people. I was like, is that not like the end? Is that why is she
out of the ring?
That's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that's just a fun. Like those are the things that made me laugh. I entertained myself with those questions. I wasn't like picking it apart or whatever.
It was fun though. It was good. I enjoy the NXT Underground or the Underground concept, but I will kind of channel the spirit of CJ and say that I do hope they step it back now and don't do it for a while.
Yeah,
we're right up to that precipice of doing it too many times, too close together. Let's hold it now.
Next one will have Adam Pearce.
You know what though? If they had used the octagon, that would have at least made coming over here worth it.
Right.
Because they would have had a reason to be here. And I almost feel like this match was the reason. Like I don't know how to explain. Like this match was the showcase of the relationship, right? This was TKO. This is WWE meeting UFC. This was the centerpiece. It even took place in the center of the show. So maybe it should have taken place in the octagon just for that. But I imagine Dana White just said, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, straight up.
Or even what was the that kind of sloped cage they used? What was that SummerSlam with?
It's the Lions Den.
Yeah,
it's the Lions Den. Yeah, it's they used it a few times actually, and then they tried to do a version of it on NXT, but it was just a cage with platforms on it. It was fucking lame. Kurt Angle was the special guest referee. They could have had it in a cage, you know?
Why didn't they?
Without the unnecessary platforms, just put it in a cage.
Didn't we learn that cages with unnecessary platforms didn't work from WCW with the triple cage? Like that was.
Oh, what's up, Soup?
Soup.
He says Shayna could dominate NXT. This is where she performs best. Well, this is where they let her. You know, this is where they give her the time.
Yep.
Riddle versus Thatcher. That's who it was. With Kurt Angle, I think, as the referee randomly. He just showed up.
Oh, man. They could have done the more legitimate lines then, but just to kind of Molly agrees. She sat up just to voice
I
her
dig it.
Yeah. But all right, so after the conclusion of that match, we had a quick vignette for Eddie Thorpe's return. It was, again, the same one they aired on NXT television recently. They had to kind of jam a couple segments here to set the ring back up. So we cut to Kalani Jordynne celebrating backstage with Sexyy Red. More celebratory twerking right here.
Let's go. I love it.
I mean, all right, wait, let's get in the show, I think. Never mind.
After the celebratory twerking, they announced that loved that picture on Twitter. That was
That's
shared by
awesome.
Shawn Michaels'
That's
Twitter.
a great picture.
You can't see what's happening.
That's a great moment. And again, it's one of those. I think this because I never paid attention. I'm so sorry. Like I just wasn't paying attention to her yet. You know, like, and this is gonna be that moment that makes me look at Kehlani Jordynne like, okay, well, let's see what you've got then. Let's see what it is. Let's see why they gave her the championship.
And I'm right there with you, man. I want to see what they do with this because, like I said, this was to me the out of left field winner. I legitimately want to know who had her picked as the winner of that match because I feel like if anybody says they did, they were probably lying. But it's a bold move. You know, during the summit Tuesday night, they had her show a lot more character that night. So I mean, they must have some plans for her, you know. But yeah, that was a great picture, big moment for her. Yeah. So after the celebratory twerking, they announced NXT's next PLE will be Heatwave on July 7th, which will be in Toronto. Sorry, I was saying everything. It'll be in Toronto, Canada. In Canada. Yeah, Caesar. Your backyard.
Pretty much. Front yard.
Front yard? It's your front yard?
Canada.
Your front yard? Your side yard?
Side queue.
I do want to address David here, because I feel like he was he had such a great trajectory when he was in New Japan, and he decided to make the jump to NXT, and I'm kind of like, I'm really wanting it to work out. Like I really want this to work out for old Carl Fredericks. You know, like I liked him so much. I thought he had such an upside. I know when you come over here, you really need you need to have your gimmick and your not make it up yourself, but you need to be able to work one and have charisma and things like that. And I feel like there's a lot of those things he could have developed with more time outside of the company, though I don't ever want to say that somebody shouldn't go get their bag. Guy's got to feed his family, damn it. He's got kids. Fuck, it's a great job to have. It's just one of those things where sometimes I'm like, oh, did he get signed too early? But that's my thought on it.
I mean, and he's, you know, coming back off of injury here. And so that's kind of what derailed this past time. Because, I mean, that NXT Underground match he had was just absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, if he can stay healthy and they can get a good story going for him, I would hope that is the reason to care. But sometimes, you know, and I say this with NXT and with most wrestling, especially nowadays, I try to give them a little bit of time to get everything flowing and going before I get super critical of it. But that's also true because I just like to be positive, guys.
I get that. I like the optimism. I should practice it. David's got a point, though. At some point, that the 1,000 stop-start recycles just kill fans' interest on their own. But get this, David. This is what I was talking about earlier with George. That it's NXT, so I kind of am okay with the restarts. Like, the restarts don't actually bother me at all on NXT because this is where you're supposed to test things and fine-tune them and throw them away and retweak them. Array. I don't want to make fun of anybody with a speech impediment. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I was laughing at myself. but yeah.
Offended.
I'm okay with it on NXT. That's my point. Because they're babies.
Yeah, they're developing. And we've talked about that on the Tuesday show a lot too with Josh Briggs. Like that's something that we think has hurt him, but he can bounce back from it down there. That's the area to do it in. My God, you can destroy someone's career doing that shit to him on the main roster.
Also, George says every single NXT talent besides Gunther Imperium has had to NXT UK, has had to struggle since the company folded. I mean, I get your point, though. There's a couple extra ones, you know, Ilya and
Blair.
Oh shit, maybe none. Ilya and that's it. No, I mean Blair Davenport's on the main roster now, so that's cool. And Axiom's a champion. So there's some of them.
Remember that?
But you know what it was? It was just a fucking result of what they did in the UK. I don't want to harp on that, and I don't want to get into a debate over it. but
Obsessive.
it was a horrible thing.
Right?
Like that was a fucking horrible thing. That was like a modern day suffocating like of an entire territory in the crib. In the crib. I'm sorry. That's fucking crazy to me that we don't talk about that more. Like but yeah, we get back to NXT.
The next match on the card was the triple threat for the North American Championship. Wes Lee versus Joe Coffey versus champion Oba Femi. Holy shit. We are all Oba feminists here at DSR.
Did you see the sign that said what is this, Joe Coffey, right? Looks like the Pringles guy.
Yeah.
On it. What's his flavor? Salty?
But
that
Oba Femi,
face.
he was intense, man. He is an intense,
Like
scary
a massive
dude.
dump before the fight.
But Oba retains the North American Championship in 12 minutes and 1 second. Woo! Man, like just the hard hitting moves, the athleticism, like just Oba Femi throwing Wes Lee around like a damn lawn dart. Hell of a match, possibly match of the night. Gentlemen, what did you think of the North American title match tonight?
On my end, I got kind of screwed with this match. It was like near like the end of the fight, like we'll say like the 6.5 to like the 12 minutes. My feet started getting weird on my end, so I missed parts of the match. So, but for the parts I did see, yeah, that was a wicked match. Was it just me or did Joe Coffey just seem like he was kind of just put in the match, or did I miss a storyline or two?
Well, they were beating people's ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gallus, so Ivar is legitimately hurt right now.
Oh yeah, we've heard that one already.
But they used the beatdown of Wes Lee, Ivar, and Oba Femi to put them into the match and to write Ivar off of TV. So it worked out that way. But yeah, that's when they got interjected into that match.
They did fight after the match too.
Yeah, and Gallus was present during the match, which it led a little bit into the finish, but wasn't the defining characteristic of the finish.
Yeah, Oba Femi's a freak. I don't know how else to put it. Like, he's a fucking freak of nature, dude. He goes out there and he's throwing both. I think he tossed Joe Coffey around at one point. But yeah, he's crazy. I can't wait to see him develop even more. Like, I want to protect him. Like, please don't get hurt. Like, just keep going. That's gonna be the thing that kills me. It's always this fucking big cool guy, and they come in and then they blow their ACL. Damn it!
Yeah,
right.
On a small move too. Just like a quick punch.
Fuck it. Keep putting him in triple threat matches for the next year. Just I don't even care. I have no issue with that. He's a baby too. He's just big.
We see him staying like champion for like a long time, kind of thing, or
might as well. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, no, I
then,
don't. Nor do I.
He's
like, it's funny because like he makes some very intensely goofy faces from time to time. But my God, he is such a big, scary dude. He's a monster. Like, and he is so talented. He is so good already, not just in the ring, but also on the mic. His presence is there. You know, he's got a good cadence to his speech. He's got the whole package, and it's going to be really fun to watch him really get everything clicking over, you know, the coming years as he ages and hits his prime. He's not even close to his damn prime yet. Like it's so wild.
Isn't he like 23?
He's like 25 or something, 26.
What's his profile say?
I think his mom blew up his spine. Everybody thought he was 22.
Next week he'll be 35.
Nope. That motherfucker's 25, baby.
40.
But yeah, David said he should be on the main roster. I disagree because it's very, very early.
I wouldn't even think about that yet.
If VKM were running the show, Oba was on the main roster 3 weeks ago.
With one name.
Yep.
Here's
Oba.
Femi. Oh, yeah, here's Oba.
And he would have been a Nigerian prince.
No, he would have been something weirder.
Yeah, it would have been something real fucking racist, though, I'll tell you that.
The
Oh
This is the messed
gosh,
up part. He's
it's
not
right
wrong.
though. No, it's right.
You're
That's
not
the fuck-
wrong.
yeah, there's nothing
Can you
wrong.
do a Jamaican accent, pal?
That's good shit.
Oh, Jesus.
That's good shit.
Great match. Like I said, I think definitely contender for match of the night. It was just solid work. These triple threats for the door, and I'm not even a triple threat guy, really. I'm
You
more
hate
of a
certain matches.
one match, but like these triple threats, this series of triple threats that Obafemi has had thus far for the North American title, is just great.
Next one's a fatal 4-way.
No,
Right.
listen. The thing is that they protect him, right? This is the most important thing right now. Should be like, what's the meme? Like, where's Obafemi? And when Obafemi's not on screen, we should be telling the viewer where Obafemi is. Like, we need to protect that big baby and make sure that he makes it to the main roster intact, untouched, with all his aura.
And two names.
Because he could be a megastar, man. He really can. And it all depends on what they do with him. He could end up like Omos, you know? Fuck. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, but he's definitely got obviously has heaps of talent where almost could only dream of having those particular.
But again, almost if
but they're using him right now. They're using Omos right now. I will say that. I will stand up and give them a little salute to that. The way they're using him now is the way he should be used. He's very limited in the ring, but they use him so sparingly that every time you see him, you're actually kind of re-shocked by how fucking enormous he is.
Damn.
If Omos had not been called up to fucking the main roster so soon, he could have been something. And they brought him out there. They overexposed him. Keeping him off TV for a while was great, but if anything, they should have sent him back to NXT.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, they still could. You know, to quote Karrion Kross, there's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time. But before we do move on from the triple threat, I do think it is worth mentioning that Joe Coffey took the pin. Wes Lee did not take the pin in the match, so Wes was more protected here as well.
Y'all want to hear something kind of weird about Omos? He's taller than Shaq.
Oh shit!
I didn't know that. I just looked it up.
Big dude.
Hey, buddy.
Big dude.
This is so weird.
Big dude.
Yeah.
But after the match, we had just a quick little spot that focused on Takeover Brooklyn. Hey, John, was that the one you were at?
I didn't get to see that because I was on Peacock, the one with ads. But if they did show, was it for the original Takeover Brooklyn, like the very first? I went to
Owens. Ballard Owens
that was the first one. Yeah, I was there. Say Sasha versus Bailey, Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin.
Oof.
It was a fucking. It was. I don't know how to explain the feeling going into that. If you've ever been to WrestleMania, that's how it felt. It felt like this was like the biggest. Not an indie show, but like the biggest wrestling show for the kind of wrestling that I loved. The kind of wrestling that I loved, like at the time, it was massive. They even brought in Jushin Liger. Random. It was random as all hell. They were like, we're appealing to the smart fan. Full power. We got an NJPW guy here. And then, of course, Bailey and Sasha have the best women's match I've ever seen in a WWE ring in my life. And I got to see that in person. I have a video of myself reaction to Bailey doing the damn poison run off the top rope. It just blew my mind. I'll never forget that night. That was an incredible time.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, that was one of the kind of focuses there between the matches. But yeah, I thought that was the one you were at because they setting up for it, they actually had KO saying that, following Bailey and Sasha. Actually, let me rephrase that. They said following Bailey. They did not mention.
Oh wow, that's dirty. No way. They just said following Bailey.
It like showed KO like hugging Bailey. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be hard to follow them. Yeah, they didn't say Sasha by name in that. Unless I might have missed it. But I'm pretty sure
they were doing a ladder match too, and it absolutely didn't live up like to the match that had come just before. Honestly, I went to 3 NXT Brooklyns and 1 NXT New York, and then I moved away. So otherwise, I would have kept the streak alive. Damn it! Oh, you lucky you got to be at that. Fuck.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Acknowledge Monet.
Alrighty, but so moving on. And we had the Wendy Chu video package. We talked about that a little bit ago. But we will move on to the NXT Women's Championship match. Champion Roxanne Perez taking on TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. Guys, this was I thought this was pretty damn good. 13 minutes 55 seconds. Roxy retains her championship, which makes sense. They tried to craft a finish here that protected and served everyone, and I think they did an all right job with that. You know, we were hoping for some more TNA faces to pop up tonight. Didn't think one of them would be Dana Brooke. I'm sorry, Ash by Elegance.
I have my thoughts on this. Well, we'll get to that too. That's very nice. We'll get to that. But I have my thoughts on this finish. I thought it was cheap. I was like, damn, it was cheap in that. As a fan, I was kind of hoping they had the balls to do the thing that obviously they could not do or would not do. But beyond that, I thought when you're gonna bring in a freaking a TNA person, how dare you? How fucking dare you make it be a former WWE wrestler? How dare you? Seriously, how fucking dare you? I am disrespected.
A former WWE wrestler whose last run was at NXT, not getting a reaction.
How many months ago was that, Tyler?
It was right when I think it was like right before we started the rewind.
Literally less than a year. She might as well be a returning NXT fucking superstar.
It was right before we started the rewinds, because it was pretty close to when she went to like high five that kid, and he was just like, nah.
He turned around. Yeah. No, I was furious. Honestly, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I honestly I didn't 100% expect it, but I was one of those guys that was kind of hoping for Joe Hendry tonight. Honestly,
oh yeah, I was too.
I like to keep it positive, so I don't want to get pissy because I didn't get something delivered to me that I wasn't promised to begin with. It would have been really fucking cool though. But Dana Ash by Elegance, of all TNA people to be involved in this angle.
I'm still trying to figure out what
Masha. I guess the idea is that she's already in it. I guess she's in a thing with Jordynne Grace on TNA TV. Right. I don't fucking know because I didn't watch TNA, and apparently many people didn't watch TNA because it's just kind of impossible to find, even if you want to.
I do have Access TV. I'm a little bit behind. I do have Access.
Tyler said, "I got that shit. I'm just not gonna watch that shit."
Meta.
I do actually. I'm like 3 weeks behind though. I do because I DVR it. I DVR them and New Japan actually. I'm behind on both. So shout out to Sling as a provider there I'm a little behind. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I'm trying to catch up in large part because of the crossover we're getting. But I do have access to it, guys.
That's funny as hell. Well, listen, nobody watched. That's fucked up, right? Nobody tuned into TNA after Jordynne Grace showed up on NXT. And to David's point, and I hate to get into this. I hate that he even brought this up because it's fucking dumb to bring that up. The business. The TNA did great business working with AW. Actually, some of the best business they've done in years, pay-per-view wise and viewership wise. The first night Kenny Omega went there, I watched Impact.
Yeah,
I was very excited to see what would happen. I was like, "What? They took the world title?" I sat through 2 hours of the worst fucking show. I was fucking pissed.
Tyler,
I was like, "You fucking baited me into trash."
I could just see John during the whole pay-per-view just
No, it wasn't even a pay-per-view. It was an episode of Impact. So you would think, you brought Kenny Omega and you put your best foot forward, and they didn't.
I'm not 100%, but I think that all of the episodes of Impact that have aired like immediately following Grace's NXT appearance, I think they were all taped. I think they were still in their run of tape shows, so they haven't had a batch of recordings yet. So
that's kind of fucked up almost. But when they record their next batch of tapes, Jordynne's entire WWE run would have happened already and finished. It's got no it's got, unless a WWE person shows up in TNA now, and I imagine it's gonna be Brooks Jensen, and I'm not sure how many people that's gonna drive over to run over and watch Impact.
Wait. What if Tatum shows up? Because she did take the belt.
You think people are changing the channel to see Tatum though?
My money on the Open Challenge. Okay, that's this coming Friday.
But you got a challenge?
I can't wrestle for the Knockouts Championship.
No, that attitude.
Ludicrous. No, you're right. No, I should
get your Harvey Whippleman on.
I'll be ringside.
I
can make other people references too. Damn it.
Yeah, Kaufman or Whippleman. It has one of the two. My money's on Natty.
Ew.
I still think it's gonna be Natty because I think that if that guitar riff hits, it's gonna get a big pop at the Impact Zone. They can ask, oh my God, why is Nadalia Hayhart
Natty Nahart
here? Natty Nahart. There we go. But I because she keeps saying enough is enough and it's time for a change. And like, if that's just leading to her taking time off, that's horseshit. Like, they need to do something with that. And that's kind of my guess. Maybe she'll do a little time in Impact for a while. Kind of like
Impact is my vote.
Yeah, I imagine she might show up because she was fiending for the belt, and I guess that's her thing. She gets all excited for title belts. Hey, listen, me too. I collect title belts, Tatum. Love me too, Tatum.
John, I want to check your basement for your belts right now. Go check.
No, it's ridiculous.
It's like Tatum Paxley creeping around like friggin' Gollum.
Yeah, man, this had a great aura around it, and I kind of wish they would have done something. I was looking out for TNA by hoping that Jordynne Grace would win the title and just go to Impact because they have a pay-per-view on Friday. Like you said, literally, she could have won the belt, showed up on Impact once. They said they're gonna tape their next batch of episodes now. She was one fucking episode holding a WWE championship. People would have ran in droves to watch Impact, no matter how. And then she would have fucking dropped it back to Roxy on Friday, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I was disappointed. I'm sorry. I wanted a little more. That's just where I am with that.
What if, by a crazy idea, what if Roxy showed up for the Open Challenge?
And she wins the TNA title?
Wouldn't that be insane?
That would be fucking dumb. They should have done what I said if they were going to do that.
I agree with you.
If they were to do that, they could have just played a little, swapsies with them.
Imagine that.
I do wish they would have had, as much as, look, I'm a big Roxanne Perez fan, and I am enjoying this heel run, but I kind of wish they would have had the courage to book Jordynne Grace over her tonight.
Yes.
The cojones.
Sick mama pump.
The balls.
The balls Mahoney to do that. It would have been good. And I think it would have. It's one of the things where it would have just been shocking for the value of shock. Just, swerve for the sake of swerve, bro. A little no, not that swerve. No, the Vince Russo type of swerve. That kind of swerve.
Bro.
Like, bro. No,
bro.
Bro. But it could have felt that way, but I don't think it really would have come across like that. I think it would have been a really cool move, and it would have gotten a lot of buzz, and it would have been nice for TNA. I think it would have helped them out a lot more too, doing something like that. But hey, maybe something like that's in the cards in the future. I don't know.
Good idea, bro.
It was a fun show, though. Start to finish. Oh, but there was another segment after this match that we would be remiss if we didn't talk about, and that was when backstage interviewer Sarah Schreiber was forced to twerk by Sexyy Red. She didn't look ready. She didn't look pretty.
Incredible. She looked like wait, let me find the image. There it is. She looked like she was gonna call HR on Sexyy Red. But no, I want to thank Sexyy Red for all her contributions to professional wrestling. I feel like she has had a legendary run. And getting to have twerk off with Lola Vice and Sarah Shriver, who having a twerk off on WWE TV, like literally, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, we need to induct Sexyy Red into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025 Celebrity Ring wing immediately, the whole wing to herself, and we need a slow motion compilation video of that twerk section because I know they have extra camera angles, so if you can kind of extend it slow motion a little bit,
that like 8K
they had intro. The fact, you know what, the fact that they didn't bring the 8K camera to shoot
guy
this
was pretty staring,
actually is a complete lack of foresight on the company, and I want to go ahead and call them my jobbers of the night right now for not bringing in an 8K camera, as they have. They have access to it, and if you knew Lola Vice was going to be twerking with Sexyy Red on pay-per-view, then you should have brought the 8K camera. Bullshit that we didn't.
I mean, I'm on Lola Vice's side, but still the same point.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Tyler's on Sarah Schreiber's side.
That's got to be our admin Mac, who wants to know if the crowd sucked, and we got to tell you, Mac.
We're not certain if the crowd or the acoustics, but it could have been louder and they could have been rowdier for sure.
It was sad seeing Obafemi do the coolest shit you've ever seen, and the crowd was like, huh.
Look at that. That's something.
Look at that.
Oh, speaking of something that should have gotten a little more of a reaction than it did, I forgot to point it out when we were talking about the NXT Women's title match. Jordynne Grace lost her earring in the course of the match, fuck. And it wound up in the thigh. Of Roxanne Perez. I didn't realize it was in her thigh for a while. I'm like,
look at it. Look at it right there.
And I'm like, oh, that is her earring.
I thought that, okay, so I saw blood on the mat, and I thought, I was looking at their face, and I was like, well, nobody's busted open. What the fuck is going on? And then you were like, her fucking earrings in her thigh. And I saw the spoke, but I thought that it was a part of the design. I thought she had like some metal shit on. When you told me it was an earring, oh my God. Oh, did she even know? God, because she could pull that right out. That's nasty.
I've always been concerned. I've been concerned about that for years with wrestlers, both men and women. Like, because a lot of people in wrestling have piercings, a lot of them, and it's really interesting that this doesn't happen on a more regular basis.
I think that that was the clip Max Wesley flying through the crowd, and the crowd was like, "Oh, cool." As I was watching the Celtics game, understandable. Good show. Fuck, I was gonna say something. Damn, it's gone. Mac, you fucked up my life. You're fired from Jersey Radio now.
Wait, was it about the earring?
It was, but the train has completely left the station. I'm like, fuck. It's gonna come.
Well, now we just twerk. Everybody just twerk. Oh, that mess. I always heard that when Ric Flair forgot what was coming next in a match, he would just start chopping the person.
I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, that's fucked up now that I remembered it, and it was this. Many people would pay to get their earrings ripped out by Roxanne's thighs. That's so Jordynne Grace provided Roxanne with a service, or Roxanne provided Jordynne Grace with a service.
That just sounds messed up.
They could sell that. They could sell it. They really could.
It's probably on eBay right now, Tyler.
God, Roxanne's making a little extra money selling her earring tonight.
No, some guy got the ring and put it on eBay. Going for like $75K American.
Right. American. Thank you, American.
American.
It's like $90K Canadian, probably.
Very good. Thereabouts. But gentlemen, anything else on that match or the show in general before we do our jobbers and megastars of the night?
Generally, I thought it was a pretty decent show. I had a really fun time. It flew by, if anything.
Yeah.
The matches were really short. Some of them,
Yeah.
like the main event, was probably too short for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But otherwise, went right by. I wasn't bored.
The one thing I will say, besides you guys were mentioning about like the acoustics and all the audio and whatnot, is maybe they could have turned up the lights a little bit during the underground match.
Yeah.
Not like a spotlight, so
hair.
you can think it's like a boy band video shoot, just a little bit like brighter, because A, I'm colorblind, and B, I don't know wrestling, so it would have been cool to see a little more for my first underground match. Thank you very much.
I was trying to be really nice. I was trying to be really nice about that main event, but Twitter is tearing that shit apart. I was like,
Twitter doesn't like a lot of things.
I was like, it would be a good TV
like us.
match. But again, that's kind of like, that's me trying to give them the fucking benefit of the doubt, because I can't be mad at them for being like, it's a damn PLE, it's a pay-per-view, and you tune in, you're not supposed to be the main event, at least.
Right.
It's not supposed to be a baby chapter in a larger story. At least a significant chapter would make it important. George says we are well on the way with this new path of NXT, where they're scouting college athletes and turning them into superstars instead of primarily hiring veteran indie talent, forcing them into the WWE mode. Do you think the experiment has worked?
I don't think we've had enough time. Honestly, I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, and I do apologize for that, but I don't know that we've really had enough time to make that determination. It's because now it's a different NXT now than it even was 2 years ago.
I think that they tried to do a hard shift to college people, but it wasn't working out exactly that way. So they kind of went back to like hybrid, like we'll sign whoever wants, we'll sign whoever the fuck we want to, because with the college people you got Obafemi, you got an Obafemi, and if that works out, then this whole thing was worth it.
And if you're going way back to earlier developmental, if you're talking about getting somebody right out of college, you got Dolph Ziggler. He only ever worked there. He went through the developmental system, and that was it. So you can find really great talent doing that, but it's a little more difficult, I think, because you are often finding people where it's like, hey, I think you might make a good wrestler. Do you want to give it a shot? As opposed to folks where it's like, I've dreamed of doing this since I was, popping out of the womb.
A year old.
Right? Like,
yeah.
But I'd give it more time. And there's obviously benefits to both, and I think they need that veteran talent there. And they do that. Squirtle. And they do that now to an extent. But the future will say for sure. But gentlemen, before we talk about our jobbers of the night, I want to give a shout out to one of our favorite sponsors out there, Monk.com. Monk.com for all your aromatherapy needs. Hop on over there, Monk.com. DSR 10, get a discount on there. Make your home smell like a tropical villa, like a lanai in Miami.
The hell's a lanai?
It's like a patio. Watch Golden Girls. Get some fucking culture.
Wait, which one?
Seriously, dude, what the fuck?
Which Golden Girls?
The Golden Girls.
Golden Girls, Caesar.
There's like two versions of it.
Dude, if you don't get the hell out of here.
Fired.
I guess we can talk about this now. Nick, our wonderful his senior member of the team has wrangled together a NordVPN sponsorship for us.
No,
very cool.
So I can look like I live in Russia now. Sweet.
You should also take advantage of that and use it to order pay-per-views for cheap, like I do.
Cheap.
On the cheapo, because I use VPNs all the damn time.
Hashtag Nick content.
So,
all right, so NordVPN. All right, so we will be you will be hearing more about that every night of the week from DSR going forward. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
Blanche
awesome.
rules.
We're fucking.
I read that as French. So
right before we get into the jobbers here, I do want to say I have 4 stepkids, right? And I am really, really pressuring them to dress as the Golden Girls for Halloween this year.
You can't pressure them. You just have to make them.
Well,
Here are your
it's on.
costumes.
We have it on every Sunday morning. And so, like, they'll kind of watch it. And, like, I catch the older kids chuckling at it a little bit. So it holds up. It holds up. But gentlemen, we need to talk about our NXT Jobber of the Night.
What's this segment about, Tyler, for all of our new friends?
All right, well, so folks, for our first-time viewers and long-time viewers that maybe sometimes forget things, because, hey, we all do things that affect our memories from time to time. The Jobber of the Night isn't necessarily someone who even lost a match. It's just someone that maybe we think wasn't done right by management or isn't doing the proper things for themselves or just had a shitty night or, hell, maybe even lost the match. It can kind of run the gamut there, but it's it's the wrestler or event that we think just fell short tonight. And for me, personally, this was kind of a hard choice because, like, I thought mostly everybody had a pretty good night tonight. I
get that.
I originally was going to give it to the OC. And that was as they were coming out. But, like, I thought the match was really, really good. So, like, I can't give it to them just because they had a bad entrance.
The easy target got booked.
Right? Like,
I guess I'll go. I have one. I do have one. And it's going to be weird, so let me justify it. My Jobber of the Night is going to be Ethan Page. Ethan Page is my Jobber of the Night because he came here on a big buzz, and he got this big NXT Championship match, and as his first match in WWE in this run. I'm not even sure if he's had a WWE run before. This might be his first WWE match ever.
Yeah.
He goes out there and they give him a fucking 12-minute opportunity on pay-per-view. 12 minutes of main event, and now he ended up with this whole fucking perception. Like, all these people are shitting on him. This is their first impression of him. It's not even his fault. I'm like, damn, that's kind of messed up. So it's not his fault. Like, he's not the jobber, but he's the guy who got jobbed here in that situation. Max says Jobber of the Night is Ash by Elegance for not getting a pop.
Damn it! That's where I should have gone with it, man. And I've got such a long storied history of shitting on Dana Brooke, and I didn't go for it there, and now I'm regretting it. You know what? I'm gonna rewind it. It's Dana Brooke.
Tyler's the official Jobber of the Night.
Yeah, my official now is being shifted to Dana Brooke. Thank you, Mac.
Mac fixed it for him.
Thank you, Mac.
I really appreciate that, brother. I really, really do. Yeah. No. Dana Brooke can't get a reaction no matter
Ash by Elegance.
Sorry, Ash by Elegance. Caesar, my Canadian friend.
I'm only seeing this next part because of what happened to her.
Okay.
Lash Legend. That spot she took. That, like, I'm sorry.
The ladder didn't move.
The ladder was like, "I fam, now what?" And
do you think the ladder was supposed to break? Was that supposed to be a broken ladder spot?
Because why would they give her a ladder that doesn't break?
Like, the whole team was like, "All right, girls, all at once."
That's so fucked up.
That fucking thing.
John,
like,
damn.
I don't know if you have the picture of it, but afterwards, when they all stare at her from above the ring, they're just like,
I had it. Damn it. I had to
Just
delete it because I
staring
ran
at
out
her.
of space. That was actually funny as hell.
They were all just kind of looking over, like the way it's like you drop something into the Grand fucking Canyon. It's just like, well,
"Are you
that
throwing
was
like a
your
quarter?"
fault.
It's like a loaf.
She corpsed, basically.
No, Mia Yim was corpsing actually at the end of that ladder match.
hell's
The
that thing she
camera
does?
cut
does
to her
this?
smiling up, all happy that she lost.
And then
She
Lash
was-
Legend does this or
Wow,
some
she was
shit.
happy. Very proud.
Very proud.
Yeah, she's Lash was bringing back planking. With
Bringing
that.
Sexy
That
back?
that was the idea. Sexy Red. Sexy Red back. Oh, but so that was the jobbers in the nutshell, and that will bring us to the positive side, the yin to the yang, or I'm not sure which is positive and negative. we have the NXT Mega Star of the Night.
Woo!
And Caesar, man, since you brought up the tail on the jobber, who did you have as your Mega Star?
I had Lola Vice because of twerking skills. No, I'm kidding. No, if I had to actually pick an actual jobber, I can't pick a jobber. I had to pick jobbers.
We're a Megastar. We're a Megastar.
Sorry, Megastars. I'm tired of it. I've been
jobber.
up since like yesterday.
Hey, I get it, brother. It's 12:30 here. I understand. I'm right there with you.
But if I had to pick, Megastar, I can't pick one. I gotta pick a few, because for the very first match of the night and how they were all the newbies, the 6-woman ladder match, that was actually pretty bitchin' to watch. Honestly, they did pretty good. Aside from Lash Legend getting put on a ladder, not through it, on it. And then what was it? Soul Ruka did her Soul Catcher. Is it called Soul Catcher?
Yeah.
Soul Snatcher.
So
That was-
Snatcher.
Like she just did it like nothing. Like that friend who's
It's
like
an
mashing
outstanding
buttons.
You
Yeah.
know what's funny? If you look at Kaylani Jordynne during the entrance here, she's she's so fucking excited.
It's so cool though.
She knows she's coming home with this belt right now. And she's like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like this is crazy. She's as surprised as we were.
She was, and this is one of those things, like, you don't get this information a lot, or if you do, it's often months, years after the fact. I'd like to know when she was told that she was winning.
You imagine it's usually you usually don't know until you agent the match and they tell you. I mean, you go with the agent into the fucking room with you, the wrestler, your agent, and you go and you sit down and they go, "Hey,
You're stupid.
so here's the finish. You're fucking winning." What?
And they're like, "Kalani, please calm down.
Relax.
Please,
Cool
you're
your
really
shit.
Hyperventilating.
Mac, brother, I'm right there with you. Soul Ruka is a star.
Yeah, she was pretty good actually.
Yeah, she's got a fun character. She's really skilled in ring. Has some development still to go, but again, it's NXT. She's while from the main roster, but yeah, she's got a bright future ahead of her. But again, as does Kalani Jordynne. Like I said, like I did not see her winning this match, and it's cool. But yeah, it did kind of look like she clearly knew she was winning. So
She was so excited. It's great, like John was saying.
Oh man.
And she's out partying right now with Sexyy Red, apparently.
That's right. She's at the Sexyy Red after party.
I'll be right back. I'll go find the address.
Which Vic Joseph was not invited to.
No, he's
not.
invited. They still want him in the
is he?
building. He just got to go to the building, not the actual inside.
Oh, but excellent. Caesar, did you have anyone else in your list of megastars for this season?
No, just the one joke one and the one actual one, in all honesty.
All right. Based on how we spoke of this match earlier, I don't think this is going to shock a whole lot of people when I say that for me personally tonight, my megastar is one Obafemi, who didn't look like $1 million. He looked like $1 billion. The man is he's just a freak. I love when a wrestler comes along that's one of those dudes where it's just like, I would under no circumstances want to fight you. Even if I had like a shotgun at the time, I still wouldn't want to do it because I'm pretty sure that buckshot would bounce off this dude. Like
He'd catch them.
In his teeth and then spit them back at me. But no, he looked amazing. Another very strong win for him. Again, in a series of triple threats, because apparently, that's what the North American titles become for the men. It's a triple threat championship. But I thought he looked great. Good win. Just great moveset. Badass look. Good on the mic.
Why do I feel like if you went to a house party and ran into Oba, he'd be the guy in the corner opening beers, like the twist top, like with an opener, but just using his hand?
Oh, I think you're going to say with his eyes, like Vinnie Jones and Eurotrip.
Oh, I got Eurotrip. That's a throwback laugh.
But yeah, so Oba is my megastar of the night. John, sir, who do you have as your megastar of the night?
John left. Just kidding.
I think that we all know who's
Sexyy
playing megastar of the night. Come on. Let's be
Sarah
Get it
real.
Schreiber,
sexy.
right? It's Sarah
Get it
Schreiber, isn't it?
Bow, 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 bow. Exit.
John's megastar ever.
No, we go together.
Hey,
Tell them hoes we go together.
that's
Sexyy Red is my megastar tonight. Come on, man.
I
She
changed
came
mine to
up here,
Lola Vice.
took this shit over, had fun, played around, got Lola Vice to twerk on
need that
WWE
video.
television. Okay, not like Lola Vice play twerking. Like I'm over Shayna Baszler. She was like, "We twerking.
She was shaking.
This
her.
is real twerk. This is real twerk hours." Okay, that was legendary. If
Let's just go on YouTube, find the full clip now.
real twerk hours, Sexyy Red, legend, megastar of the night, Hall of Famer,
John's
first
gonna have a
ballot.
t-shirt.
First ballot 2025 class of Hall of Fame. There used to be a guy who did fucking petitions for all his favorite wrestlers to go into the Hall of Fame. I'm starting a Sexyy Red one right now. Right now.
Hashtag. Get a hashtag going.
She should have been the inaugural North American champion.
She should have. She should have. When she held that belt up, I was give it to her. Take it home. For what?
Yeah.
She's gonna be president.
That's right. She will. Got my vote. Got my vote.
Can someone vote for me?
Oh, that's
No.
right. Well, you can vote for her. No, Caesar.
You know what I can
cannot.
do is use NordVPN. I can vote for her.
No, you can't use vote.
No, I don't want my FBI agent bothering me tonight.
No. No. Patrick, you don't need to worry. That's my agent. By the
I
way,
can't
guys.
see my
You don't
forehead.
need to worry. I'm not. There's no illegal voting going on. Jesus. But
What?
folks, before we hop off here tonight, I would like to first thank everyone watching and remind and tell the new viewers tonight that we here at Dirt Sheet Radio, we're not just live for pay-per-view nights like tonight, PLE night. Sorry, Bubba Ray. We're not just live for PLEs and pay-per-views. We're here every single weeknight
To the
for
graphics.
all of the major shows. Monday nights, we are here for Monday Night Raw. Tuesday nights,
Tuesday.
we are here for NXT. Wednesday nights, we are here for Dynamite. Thursday nights, we are here for TNA Impact. And Friday nights, rounding out the week, we are here for SmackDown. And of course, PLE
I need the-
taking place on Saturdays and Sundays.
Where's the level up graphic?
I need the level up graphic on this new restream.
Well, and then of course,
I'm so sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. We will have the
Okay.
graphics soon, but also yes, it's very coming up very soon in the near future here at the end of the month. I think the 23rd. CJ and myself will be doing a coverage for NXT Level Up on a weekly basis. Also, the 3NT podcast every single Sunday, and we also have the DSR flagship. Is that Wednesday nights at like 3 a.m.?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So hump day, middle of the night, hump
Thank you.
night. Hell yeah,
Uh,
thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you
Savannah.
for the
Too sweet
compliment.
of you. Too sweet.
Mac is back on SmackDown this week. He'll be
Oh.
here.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
And that means you gotta watch this Friday for
That's
Mac.
right, guys. That's right. But yeah, but we
Hey.
appreciate we're here all the time, guys. We're here all
We
the
don't
time.
even go home. Don't go outside. We just stay in our place.
That's all we do is stream. We don't eat, we don't sleep, we just stream. That's it.
No,
That's
I'm
all we
still in this
fucking do.
chair. till the
Hours
next
and
episode.
hours and hours of content forever and ever and ever and ever.
My
We'll
foot's
never
attached to the
stop.
floor.
Wrestling doesn't have an off season, y'all. It doesn't have an off season. Oh shit! Hey, if you want to buy some cool swag and find some cool stuff, head over to our
Swag?
Shopify store. Yeah, some swag. Yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
swag, not swag.
Oh, did I say swag? It's swag,
Yeah.
guys.
No, swag works for me, man.
Does it work?
There
Does
was
it
a
work?
lot more
But,
swagger in there,
Swagger.
ironically.
Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger is
Shaw Wing. Anyways,
but yeah, our Shopify store, Shop DSR over our Shopify store. That's the fun stuff over there. Check that out right now. We'll not right this very second. Wait till the show's over here in just a minute. I feel like, am I missing anything? Did
I
miss
also
one?
forgot the thank you graphic. So we just
we
I'll-
consume content. We are the eater
actually,
of
I
content.
consume Tim Hortons.
consumer.
Consumer? What the hell?
But folks, hey, we will be back tomorrow night, as said, for Monday Night Raw. Actually, you'll see the three of us tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's us.
So-
If
so
you
if-
enjoyed us tonight,
Hopefully you enjoyed us.
then you'll enjoy us just as much tomorrow. And hey, if you didn't, then I'm honestly proud to
And
say
go
you're
to
not
hell.
wrong.
No. I don't respect people who don't like me.
You have an
There
opinion.
too, Stephanie.
I'm not-
But yeah, but we love y'all, and we don't have a show without y'all looking and tuning in for it. We appreciate it. So hey,
No.
$20, Mac. $20.
No, Mac.
Get John
Well,
into
guys.
the Sexy Red party, and he'll hire
It's
you
your red
back.
party. There you go. That's how you do it. But guys, we will be back tomorrow night, right after Monday Night Raw. We look forward to it. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. See you then. Have a wonderful night. Get it sexy, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.
Quack!
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night,
Woo-hoo.
everybody.
Bye, y'all.